New York has a very iconic style for their buildings, so let's have a go at building some of them. Firstly, I'm going to take inspiration from the railroad style apartments, where as you can see, on the outside they have those stairs down the middle. So to start off with, we're going to use a brownish colour palette, so that means packed mud and mud bricks. And then to add some depth, I'm going to step it back a block in the middle, but you don't need to do that if you don't want. Now we're going to use the black and grey stained glass to give it that old classy look by alternating between them. Down the middle we can make it look even fancier by adding some different types of walls. This makes the build look very ornamented because it brings a lot of depth and variety. And to stop the walls connecting to the back, I've just used granite stairs. Next we can copy this up a few floors. I suggest between 4 and 7 looks good, so I've done 5. And to top off the building we need an ornate trim, also known as a parapet. This will be in a lighter colour, so I'm using jungle wood. I know it's technically wood, not stone, but that doesn't matter in Minecraft, just go with what looks good as opposed to the material itself. Now we need a contrasting base, so for the foundations we're going to use black, but then for the first floor we want something contrasting, so where I've gone for a dark colour scheme elsewhere, I'm going to use white, so quartz bricks works well. Also, it's nice to step the entrance up a block or two off the ground, as I did for the Georgian houses in another video. And similarly to those, I'm going to add a basement by extending the ground down by 2 blocks. Okay, so now I've just copied this across for the neighbouring apartments, but I've done a few things to contrast it. Firstly, there's an opposite colour scheme, so light at the top and dark at the bottom. However, we still want that slight brown earthy tint, which is why I've used bone blocks and sandstone. Secondly, I've widened it by 1 block, which you may or may not prefer. A block of 3 works well, so let's add a third one similar to the first one on the left, but a shade lighter using jungle log and a step back to give the street some depth. Next we can add those iconic outside stairs. For railings, fence gates work well as opposed to just fences, and we'll use dark oak for a dark tone. Unfortunately we can't get full black with fences. Now for the stairs, Minecraft doesn't quite have the detail to build some steep stairs at this scale, so I'm just going to create the effect of these stairs by placing trapdoors in between the floors. Then we can copy this to the neighbouring apartments, but this time because we've got more space in the middle, we can shift the trapdoors to create the look of how they alternate in direction between the floors, which is quite cool. Next we're going to try a different style of build using a brick colour palette, this time using 2 block wide windows with a seam in the middle created by the alternation between black and grey glass. Next I'm using trapdoors to create a window lining, and we can quickly copy this up a few floors and then we can do a similar parapet for the roof, but as it's a less ornate style I'm just using a line of stairs. Now there isn't really a formula for the base, so it just takes a while of fiddling, but as with before it works to use a complementary colour scheme. So where for example I've used red and white above, below I'll use green and black. Then as we've used green below, I'm going to use warped wood for the outside staircase. And now for the next one, I've just changed the colour to white. So there you go. I hope that's given you a good taster of how to tackle New York architecture in Minecraft so that you can experiment on your own. I finished off this second block by building the apartment from friends, for which I'll upload a separate time-lapse which you can check out if you're interested. Also, if you enjoyed this video you could subscribe to the channel as it really helps me out. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.